big black and white striped pants. His whole chest is exposed with his hairy chest. There's so much magic you can see, and the chemistry is insane. It's so powerful, full of pizzazz and musicianship. Sabbath must have been crapping their pants when they saw what they brought on tour with them. I mean, it must have made them look like shit. I can't even imagine this band coming out and slaying before you even take the stage as a headliner. I don't even know how they did this. Dave comes off like he's like an acrobat. He's running around like a wild man. The world really never saw a band like this before. And this piece of tape just gives more credibility to Eddie and Dave's chemistry and the band's incredible blueprint for what the future was going to look like. How many bands are trying to imitate that still today? That fucking video, it's incredible. Now, the thing that really drove me crazy about this video is it's out there, folks. There is video out there. If you think it doesn't exist, it does. This is a perfect example of people sitting on stuff, of archival material for Van Halen. And here's the message I want to let you guys know, okay? If you have stuff, share it with the world. And I know some people who have stuff. I won't mention names, but they know who they are. And they have a treasure trove of things that they're sitting on. The band is not going to release it. So it's up to us as the fans to keep the legacy going. And it's stuff like this. I don't know the gentleman or the woman. It's probably a man, but just because a lot of Van Halen fans are guys. But even if it's a woman, whatever, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. Obviously, so much work was put into it to really make it flow and seamless and clean it up. Holy cow. You could show that to someone who doesn't even know who Van Halen is and they would be blown away. That's how good it is. Right? I mean, Dave, what did you say when you saw this?
Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal. So just to give some background.
Yeah.
So this footage has been floating around
right.
in bits and pieces.
Yeah, little snippets.
Little snippets for like the past, 5 or so years or something like that. So they really cleaned it up.
Oh, yeah.
So it's clearer than ever before. And well worth watching.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think it was Super 8.
Yeah.
And the thing with Super 8 back in the day was you could really only go about 5 or 10 minutes before you'd have to change the film.
Right.
So that's why when you watch this video, you're like, well, why are they throwing still pictures in between?
Right.
Because somebody was probably changing the Super 8 tape.
Right.
And the amazing part is Super 8 was video only. So somebody had also recorded the audio for the show. So now you have to take the audio for the show.
Right, and pair it.
And sync it with the video.
Right, exactly.
And it is amazing, the final package. I mean, and it's just so rare to see any video.
Oh, my God.
Of Van Halen around this time. It's just non-existent.
Right.
So to see it this clear... And, I mean, pardon the pun, the band is on fire. I mean, go search on YouTube Van Halen 9/22/1978 and just be prepared to be blown away.
Oh, God.
I mean, just in terms of the video you're actually watching and the performance, because they're just hungry as, F-U-C-K. Just unbelievable. I mean, if you're a fan... You just got to catch this. It's unbelievable. Very, very special treat.
Best Van Halen release since A Different Kind of Truth. It's literally that exciting.
It is that exciting.
Yeah, it is that exciting. So whatever you do, obviously we all miss the band, and we're not going to get some Van Halen for a while, and we're not even going to get Roth until next year. Go and spend 25 minutes of just watching this. It is unbelievable. And, I know some bootlegs are hard to sit through sometimes because after a while you feel like you're looking at blobs. It's not like that. It really is high quality. It's literally something, like I said, you could show anybody who doesn't even give a crap about Van Halen. You would show them that and they'd be like, wow, that is cool. It just has that vibe to it. So check that out. It's on YouTube. Now listen to this. A Van Halen box set is coming out. But it's not the one we want. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Now, listen to this box set. The Japanese singles from 1978 to 1984 is coming out on November 1st. Now, what the hell is this? It's a collection of 13 7-inch vinyl singles that were issued in Japan from the band's classic David Lee Roth era, okay? And they're all the songs from the albums except Hot for Teacher, Pretty Woman, and I'll Wait are edited down from their original album versions. The original sleeve with the artwork is all together on each one. It comes in a cigarette-style box. There's going to be 2 versions. The black vinyl and a limited edition red vinyl, which is only going to have 750 copies. So if you're a vinyl freak, you better get on it. The cover is another interesting mystery. 4 black and white photos, all from different eras. And they even have a shot of David Lee Roth with his taped broken nose. I thought that was a very strange choice. Now, this is the track listing. Okay, so what do we have? 13 singles. You Really Got Me with the B-side of Atomic Punk. Ain't Talk About Love, B-side of Running with the Devil. Or maybe that's a double A-side. On Fire, and a B-side of Jamie's Crying. That's a little strange because you think Jamie's Crying would be the A-side. Dance the Night Away, B-side of Spanish Fly. Somebody Get Me a Doctor, B-side of Women in Love. And The Cradle Will Rock, B-side Could This Be Magic. Unchained with a B-side of So This Is Love. That could be a double A-sided single possibly. A-side of Pretty Woman, B-side of Happy Trails. A-side of Dancing in the Street, B-side of Full Bug. A-side of Jump, B-side of House of Pain. A-side of I'll Wait, B-side of Girl Gone Bad. A-side of Panama with a B-side of Drop Dead Legs and a A-side of Hot for Teacher and a B-side of Little Dreamer. Dave, what do you make of this box set?
Meh.
I know. Like, what? Who
I'm
cares?
not a vinyl guy.
Yeah, me too. I know.
It's, a bunch of singles. I mean, I guess the semi-rare part is the abbreviated single mixes on some of the songs. But it's like over $100. I mean, I'm certainly not jumping at it, but that's just me. I'm just not a vinyl guy. Right. I mean, I'm happy to see somebody releasing something Van Halen related. I think that's awesome. But, I mean, to me, I'm just like, next.
Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of next, Sammy Hagar comes out with a new video for No Worries. Sammy has released that as a single. I thought it was a good choice for a single, but he starts off, he's plugging that rum. Sammy's Beach Bar Rum, a nice close-up right on the bottle. It's a mix of studio cuts of the band playing in the studio, and then there's cuts of the band playing live, and then there's this goofy actor playing the lead guy in the storyline. And, oh, my God, he's crazy, just running around doing nutty shit, looking like a goofball. And he's cutting loose and doing all kinds of nutty shit and explaining how he has no worries. I don't know. I would have done something a little different. I find it very repetitive. What did you make of this, Dave?
It was all right. It wasn't bad.
No, it was
it was for what it was.
Right.
But the frustrating part for me is that, so Sam, this is like the 3rd or 4th one or something.
Right.
And but there's a whole long form video of the whole concept album.
Right. What is he waiting for?
Right. That I think Joe Satriani's son had directed.
ZZ.
Right?
Yeah.
ZZ. Thank you. And Sam was basically saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to put out the whole thing because there's really no market for it. And I'm like, what do you care? Like, Sam, you have no worries.
He should have released it. He should have released it with the album.
He totally should have. I think what the issue was, it wasn't ready when the album
Maybe
came
you're right.
out.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, put it out there on some kind of streaming platform or something like that. I mean, if I'm ZZ and I spent all this time on it, like, I want you to show it.
Yeah.
Sam is one of these guys, who says something out of one end of his mouth, but then mumbles something else on the other end of his mouth.
I know.
Because he's always like, I'll play for free. I'm not worried about making money anymore.
I know.
I'm just going to do music I like. So he does, and he releases the album. But then the video, there's no market for it, so I don't know what I'm going to do. But Sam, there's really no market for your album either. Or
No.
maybe that's too insulting.
Yeah.
The same market for your video is the same market as your album.
Right.
If you're not worried about money, then just put it out.
Right. Well,
if I were him, I'd be worried. I mean, I don't want to lose money putting something out. I don't blame him for that.
Right.
Right. But like I said, just put it out on some streaming media platform and, you're not going to lose anything. And boom, call it a day.
I really think at this point, an album, a single, a video, it's all just promoting his brand as him. And that goes for anybody. It's not just Sam. Anybody at this point, it's just like you're still in the game. You're out there, you're touring, you're releasing albums, you're releasing singles, you're releasing videos. You're in the game. You're still in the game. And like Sam, as far as I'm concerned, I think they released it. It helps promote the beach party he's got coming up. That's what it does.
Exactly.
What the hell else is it? How is anybody supposed to capitalize on that? The album's on YouTube. The album's on Spotify. You know what I mean? It's like, people are just, I don't know. I mean, let me tell you something. It's been a long ass time, and the goddamn record companies have not figured out how to properly monetize after the internet. They just haven't. I mean, I know we have iTunes and all this stuff and the streaming platforms, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think I think they are figuring out how to better monetize
Really?
it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because the June numbers came out and they had another growth period.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's definitely due to streaming. I mean, the record companies, I can still call them record companies. The record companies are making money. I don't know if the musicians are, but that's a whole different story because they've consistently been ripped off since day one.
Rumor has it it's been 6 quarters and you haven't shown any growth period.
No, it's not. You're right. That is a rumor. It's not 6 quarters. It's 12 quarters.
12 quarters.
And I'm shrinking, not growing.
Wow.
So it's even worse.
Boy, the dividends are getting small.
But anyway.
Hey, Dave, got no worries.
No worries, man. No worries. Got no worries. So the music industry is starting to come back and figure that out. And so streaming is the way to go. And you always hear like this noise about vinyl.
Oh, I know.
And vinyl is growing, but vinyl is such a small piece of the pie that any growth in there, it's not significantly helping the music industry. But anyway, I know we're getting off a tangent here.
Yes, we are.
But the point is, Sam, just release it.
I know. Just let it go.
Just release it, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. So, speaking of Sam jumped on stage with John Mayer and Bob Weir of the Grateful Dead in San Francisco, his hometown, to sing Fire on the Mountain, the classic Grateful Dead song. And he sounded good, and he was in good shape, and he fit right in with those guys. So, hats off to Sam for cranking out an oldie. Sam he wants to taste, man. He doesn't want to just sit home and ride around in his Ferrari. He wants to play and get out there, and I'm telling you, he doesn't want to give it up. Now, what Sam also did, and this is so sad, so we lost 2 rock stars in the process from one podcast to the last. From our August podcast, we lost Eddie Money, who Dave and I have met, hung out with, and seen in concert multiple times. That was so incredibly sad. I have interviewed Eddie. God, I must have interviewed Eddie 10 times. And and I'll share a little quick story about Eddie. I once went to Eddie's home where he grew up in Island Trees on Long Island back in the day. I showed up and he answered the door in boxer shorts and halfway button-down shirt and black socks. And he told me to come in and offered me a free cold slice of pizza. It was just hysterical. It was so Eddie Money. Eddie was such a regular, fun dude. And he was so sweet and so nice. And he was such a character. And he, hands down, funniest rock star ever. Just like the nicest guy. He would do all kinds of funny things, like when I would interview him and I had my pad and pen, he goes, "Oh, I love that pad and pen." He's like, "You're like Jimmy Olsen, a good reporter." But he does forgot Jimmy Olsen was a photographer, but and Dave knows that because he's a Superman fan. But Eddie was a sweet guy, and